Are you ready to discover new books? In this video, I am going to give you 11 new books that are interesting. Most of them are written by Indian authors and that you can check out. And without further ado, let's get started. But before that, hi there, I am Manpreet. I am India's leading books YouTuber who helps people discover new books and develop the habit of reading. I do a lot of book reviews and recommendations on this channel, so make sure you subscribe, follow me on my social media, hit the bell button to turn your notifications on. And now let's get started with today's video. Number one book is actually a crime fiction written by an author and a filmmaker. This is the story of Shravya Chandra, who goes missing. She is the wife of a famous, powerful film star, and she is now disappeared. Where is she? Nobody knows, and the police investigation ensues that is being led by Ashish, who also has a brother who unofficially assists him in the investigation. This novel has good suspense, a great plot, and flawed characters. It's basically a really good read. If you're looking for Indian crime fiction, you should definitely check it out. I have already done the full review of this book that I will link down below in case you want to check out. Anyway, all the books are linked down below in the description if you want to just buy them. These are all affiliate links, just to let you know. Second book. This is actually a self-help book, switch on, switch off acting method by Virender Rathore. Now, there's a channel on YouTube called Join Films, and this channel specializes in teaching people how to act. And if you are an actor or a YouTuber who wants to improve their acting skills, this is a book that will really help you out. I have done a full review of this book once again. It is a short self-help book that has helped me as well, and that I'm sure will help you out if you are interested in this subject. So check out this as well. How many of you have checked out my last book haul? So I have all my book hauls, all the new books that I have discovered and bought for myself, that I have chosen for myself, are captured in my book haul videos that I will link down below in the description, the playlist, okay? So you can check that out. But in that video, I introduce you to an author, Vish, who is India's most famous legal thriller writer. In fact, he is now world famous for writing Indian legal thrillers, okay? And that is just amazing. And he wrote one book in 2021 that is Prisoner's Dilemma, and this book is about these two friends who actually rob a van full of cash. Soon they are caught. In just within 48 hours they are caught, and now there is this inspector who has the responsibility of breaking them so that they talk and they can solve the case. This is what this book is about. And yes, obviously Vish Dhamija is an absolutely amazing writer who writes legal thrillers. So if you just want to read legal thrillers, check out his work. Next is a book that I bought on Kindle. I have been making a conscious effort to buy books on my Kindle because that way I make better notes. All my notes are saved forever, and I always have access to what I felt about the book, to my highlights and everything. That's why I love my Kindle Paperwhite. Anyway, coming back to the number 4 book, Influence. This is actually one of the most recommended business reads. So here's the thing, Influence is not really a specific business book or a marketing book or an advertising book. These are the kind of books that I love to read, but this is slightly different because it is about the psychology of what influences people. So it looks at what are the messages or how advertisers are using certain kind of criteria and principles to influence you as a buyer. So it actually, you know, talks about everything from the buyer's side and talks about how you can protect yourself as a buyer. But it is also a great book for advertisers, for marketers, for business owners to understand how they can develop their messaging to continue doing what they do, but in a better way. Anyway, this is certainly a good book. I'm 40% done with it, and yes, it is a non-fiction, and if you're into this kind of subject, you will like this a lot. Next, obviously, I think by now whoever watches my videos regularly knows that I have picked up Carrie by Stephen King. This is the first novel / novella written by Stephen King. This is about this girl who has telekinetic powers that she discovers after a bullying event, and then, you know, it builds up to this event when she totally loses it. That's what the story of this book is. This is more like a thriller and a short, easy to read thriller if you are just looking for Stephen King books. They are usually big, chunky, but this one is a very sweet, easy to read book lengthwise, but otherwise it's thrilling and also gory and a little disturbing. Okay, another non-fiction that I would love for you guys to read is How I Quit Google to Sell Samosas by Munaf Kapadia. Now, a disclaimer, all the books that I feature in book haul videos are not the ones that I have read, okay, because these are the ones that I have picked up to read. I may or may not like them in future, but because this book haul is quite delayed, a lot of these books are something that I've already read. For example, this one is something that I read in one sitting. It is so good. Imagine reading a non-fiction so interesting that you read it in one go. That is what this book is. This is about this entrepreneur, Munaf Kapadia, who is the man behind the Bohri kitchen. This is a very famous food startup in Mumbai, and he has gotten a lot of publicity, and there are a lot of celebrities that love his startup, that love his work, and he's just basically famous. And he wrote this book documenting his whole story on how he quit a high paying job in Google to just seriously sell samosas. And this is a very interesting account of his journey. Although I would say the introduction that has been written by some other famous person, it is not good. Trust me, I read the introduction and I was like, maybe I picked up the wrong book. But you ignore that, you start with the book, and it is just absolutely brilliant. So do check it out. Okay, now if you are active on Instagram, you might know this, but otherwise do follow me on Instagram at Indian Booktuber. So Westland in May 2021 was doing this promotion, Westland Publications, where they offered one free book every day, one free ebook every day. Okay, and I picked up a few ebooks that I felt interested in. One of those is 8 Hours. So this is actually the book 3 in the Numbers series. This author actually writes a lot of books based on numbers, as in his books titles are about numbers. I have not read the book, so I cannot say much. But what is this book about? This is about this girl who has this business, and now her business is in danger. She has an estranged husband, and there are relatives who are trying to bring the business down, or her, just out her from the business, and she just has to protect this. And there's a lot of legal stuff here, and suspense, mystery, and all of that stuff. That is what I could understand from whatever I read about this book. And I just feel very interested in thrillers. I feel like even you guys, the people who watch me regularly, love thrillers. So how could I not pick up a thriller? Which, by the way, I already have a copy of the book gifted to me by Westland, and it is just lying in my home in Batinda, but I never picked it up. But now that it's on Kindle, I think I have better chances of reading this. So I'll read it someday. So a couple of books that are featured in this book haul are something that I also have a physical copy. So another book Westland offered for free was the Rudest book ever by Shwetabh, Gangwar. And when the book came out, a lot of you were asking about it. I bought the book myself and then never read it. But they were just offering it on Kindle, and I like to read my non-fictions on Kindle. That is why I think I picked up this book as well. This is a non-fiction, a self-help, and that is pretty much what this book is about. The reason why I didn't read it back then, I know, was because just from the cover of it, it seemed a little bit like The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F by Mark Manson. And if you have not watched my videos on books I dislike a lot, hate a lot, you would not know this, but I did not like that book. I just do not agree with the opinion that you have to use abusive language, or words like this just to get your point across, or you just have to tell that the whole world is stupid, or all the authors that have written self-help books so far are bad, to just make your point look better. I do not agree with that. I'm not sure if Rudest book ever is like that. I'm pretty sure it is not. But that is how I got my reservations around a book like this, which is why I did not read it. But if you have read it, just let me know if I should give it a try, and if it is not like Mark Manson's book, okay, then I'll give it a try and talk more about it on the channel. Anyway, next book that I got is Panipat by Vishwas Patil. This is actually a translated book, translated from Marathi, and it is considered one of the best-selling novels till date. in Marathi language. So this is about the third and final battle of Panipat that was fought by the Maratha kings against an invasion from a king from Afghanistan. If you are into historical fiction, this is something that you might love. So just wanted to tell you about this book as well. Next book that I picked up is In Search of Heer by Manjul Bajaj. So Heer Ranja is one of the most popular romantic stories risen from the land of Punjab, and we are really proud of our stories of Soni Mahewal, Heer Ranja. And honestly, there are many adaptations, many retellings of Heer Ranja stories. One of the most popular ones is Heer, written by Waris Shah, who was a Punjabi poet, and I have read major chunks of Heer written by Waris Shah during my school time, and I loved it. And which is why I felt like this could be an interesting read to just revisit this story once again, but in a different language, in a different way. So I am really interested in this book. If you are interested in a retelling of Heer Ranja's story, you can pick up this book as well. Lastly, I have Yoga Also for the Godless by Shiri M. So this book is about yoga, but also it talks about how even an atheist can, benefit from yoga, and how it's valuable, and also, something that would appeal to an atheist. So this book works around that concept. It's basically a book that enlightens you more about the benefits of yoga. And I read a couple of books last year, or maybe last to last year, that were really incredible in terms of knowing more about the food I put into my body, and the nutrition, and also the exercise and our posture. So I was naturally interested in a book like this, because I am more interested in yoga nowadays. It has benefited me a lot, and just to know more about the subject, that just is something I like to do, which is why I picked up this book as well. And yes, with this comes the end of this book haul video, this video where you have now discovered 11 new books. If you like this video, please make sure you subscribe and share this video so that your friends can also discover new books, right? And I really hope you found this good. Did you find any particular book that is interesting and super new to you in this video? Just let me know in the comments below. Okay, thank you so much for watching. This is Manpi signing off. I'll be back with another video very soon.